So, I'm back. Another video, another day. And you know what? This thought popped in my head because I kept seeing, people talk about this topic of interracial relationships. So I came across this video right here a few weeks. So it's not too old, right? Compared to some of the other videos I came across. And it's titled, We Ask Black People About Interracial Relationships. Now, from my experience, I have found that black women have more of a negative feeling about interracial relationships than black men, right? This whole idea of losing one's culture, betraying one's group of people, and black women feel more, I guess, quote unquote, loyal, whatever that means, whatever your idea or definition of that is in this context, to the black community, which is why they tend to stick more with black men. Also, when it comes to the whole beauty standards that's been set in place by primarily white people, black women are lower on the totem pole, especially when compared to black men. Black men are more desired than black women, right? So it's this idea of loyalty towards a group of people that should be, more inclined to date you. So, it's a lot of different factors, but that's what I've come across in my own personal experience. So I found this video and I said, okay, let me go check it out. So let's get into this. Let's see what they say. I'm probably going to be right. Hopefully I'm right. And I hopefully might, learn a few things, but let's get into it.
You really have to go out of your way to find a non-black to date, so it's just kind of like, you weird, like something wrong with you, like. But also, like, love is love, so. Hello, everybody. It is me, Elise, and today I had a question. Dating as a black.
First off, this girl right here, her mic needs to be fixed. I'm sorry. I don't know, the audio for the first girl, it was cool, but when it got to her, I think they just used the camera audio. But that's just me being nitpicky. Nothing about the video, just the audio quality off rip was kind of funky. But anyways, let's get back into it.
Black person is an experience in and of itself, and something that always comes up is interracial relationships. So I wanted to get my friends' opinions on that topic, so I asked them, and this is what they had to say. What is your opinion on interracial relationships? I have a lot of opinions.
Whatever floats your boat. Otherwise, you could live one, die one. I love them. I think they're great.
I think they're fine for other people. I don't have a problem with interracial relationships. I only see a problem if people use it as a gimmick or try to use their partner as a display.
I think interracial relationships are interesting.
I think it's cool, date who you want to date.
I think it's completely fine. I think it depends on your intent and where it comes from.
I don't mind them. I would do one. I have done one, so.
Would you ever be in an interracial relationship?
Honestly, yeah, I would.
I don't think that's what the Lord wants for me. Me personally, I like black on black, so no, I would not.
See, already off rip, before I even get to this guy, when they were asking people about it, it seemed like the black women were a little bit more hesitant, or they had more negative feelings towards it. All the black guys were cool with it. Of course, there was a few of the black girls that was cool with it, but ultimately it went into, what I was talking about at the beginning. Black men, they don't really care. They just like, all right, cool, whatever. But black women, they feel more inclined to just date within the race. That's interesting.
I would be in one if it means I could get the green card, because I am currently not.
This guy
They
here.
aren't for me just because I'm very into black love.
I would say yes.
Yes, but not like, if you go back far enough, your family probably owned slaves. That's
No.
I'm not opposed to it, but it's not what I'm trying to get to. If you want to explore people, that's cool. I just don't see myself settling down with anyone outside of my race.
maybe with any race other than white people, I'm sorry, like I'm not usually attracted to white men unless they're like famous or like movie stars. If y'all see me in an interracial,
Go fucking digger. Go fucking digger. Unless they famous or they like a celebrity. That's wild. That's crazy, man. That's nah. Shit. I mean, you got somebody answer questions like that. It don't matter if they black, white, Hispanic, Asian. Don't talk to that girl, man. She got. For her to even throw that out there was wild. Like, yo, you know, you looking at that bank account, baby. Definitely.
relationship, it's a crack of hell. I'm in a sunken place. Get me out of there.
Have you ever been in an interracial relationship?
Yes, in high school.
And how was that?
I learned that, not to say it was a bad relationship, but like it's not for me.
Hey, I gotta give him props though. He got that Susie. He got that Susie on his shirt. You know about that Susie? That's from Rugrats back in the day. Classic, man. Classic, classic, classic.
So I learned and I grow. Amen.
Amen.
I'm actually on it right now. My girlfriend is South American. So,
And you're living your best life.
yeah, it's been good.
I have been in one before.
Hey, old girl right here look mixed. She look like she half Hispanic, half black. She look mixed already. So I don't know her background, but she already off rib look mixed. Just want to throw that out there.
At the end of the day, I couldn't get over the whiteness. I think like the race structures and the power structures will always be an incredible like imbalance that I'm not going to be able to stomach or get over or heal from.
I would say that I have been in an interracial relationship, and it just stressed me out too much. I don't think I would ever do that again, just on like the basis of my black politic, my pro-black politic, and I just couldn't date somebody who wouldn't go as hard and as deep for like pro-black politics.
I have been in one. My last relationship was actually an interracial relationship. It was not easy at all, to say the least. There was a lot of different cultural differences in the relationship, but I could expect that.
Do you feel as though sometimes black women can be fetishized in interracial relationships?
Yes, people sometimes look at black women as something to like conquer versus an actual person, or like they're like an experience versus an actual person. As a black woman, I am aware that like someone might fetishize me over like my skin tone, my hair texture. I'm a taller woman, so I always get like short dudes like, oh, it's like tree. I mean, even with black people too, I feel like there's some fetishization, mostly for like the skin tone. Like I would say I'm pretty dark, and so even black guys who like dark skinned women can sometimes come off as like, oh my gosh, you're chocolate. I put my best foot forward.
I don't know. I can see. You know what? That I would say that whole like darker skin, less attractive thing. That definitely is a thing, but I don't know if it's as prevalent as it was like back in the day. You know what I mean? Like I definitely heard, you know, that whole darker skin, you're less attractive thing, especially when it comes to women. But I don't know about is that still a topic of conversation now? Like, or maybe it's just my circle, my group of people. We, I don't know. We just don't care too much for all that. So I don't. It's kind of funky, especially coming from a black male's perspective, where you know, especially now, like darker skinned men are seen as more attractive or more desirable than the lighter skin counterpart. So I don't know. Maybe y'all can inform me on that, but me personally, with my experience, what I've seen in my, you know, age group and the people I've been around, that whole darker skin, lighter skin thing is not really too much of a thing, really. Especially too, if you look at where I'm at, I'm in LA, so it's a very mixed group of people, very diverse group, a melting pot. So I don't know. I guess maybe younger or back in the day before my time, it was really, I'll be able to see it more, and you know, hearing about it and witnessing it is two different things. So I don't know.
And I assume that I'm not being fetishized until proven otherwise.
What are some of your reservations about interracial relationships?
As a black woman, it's just so hard, like really relating to people in like the dating scene already. So now trying to put another like layer of dating someone who doesn't even like understand my general experience as a black person, it's like
as a black man, I am fearful that folks of other races, specifically like white folks, just will not be able to understand the struggles that black people, men or women, or non-binary folks may experience. I really think other black people understand that experience really, really well, and having a partner who understands that experience is very paramount.
I want to comment on that. You know what? I don't think that's all the case. Like, all right, so of course, you know, the struggles that black people in general face is a common thing, but I think there are certain sectors of black people who have not experienced some of the things that other black people have you know, experienced. So it's just like when people talk about like black celebrities, right? Black celebrities, and how come some black celebrities don't speak up against like certain injustices that are happening within, you know, a large segment of the black community. Is because they're not in that lifestyle. So to some extent they can't relate. So you can't always have someone based off of their skin color have the same values that you have, right? So because everyone has a different background, you can't just say, well, this person's black, they should be able to relate. That's not always the case. That's definitely not always the case, especially when you start looking at socioeconomic class. Certain black people who are higher up on that socioeconomic class may not have to deal with certain aspects that certain things that other black people who are of a lower economic class have to deal with, right? So when they always push that ideology on like celebrities, I always feel a type of way, because it's like, I get where you're coming from, but this person is well known, this person's famous, this person has a lot of money. They're not going to feel the same type of way about certain topics that you feel, right? Or a large amount of people within your group feel, because they're all the way over here. So that's just my thoughts.
I believe that if you have something against dating within your own race, then you probably have some internal issues or problems that you need to address.
People need to understand like the challenges and the inequities that sort of surround different, like, you know, interracial relationships. Getting to know someone's family when you don't have that like same background is kind of tough, and there might be some things you have to deal with, like Trump supporters.
What are your final thoughts about interracial relationships?
I think the really, really big thing for me though is if you have to compromise who you are as a person and your identity, then it's a problem. But if you want to know who you love, I think that's an extremely important thing. I don't think you should be judged for it at all.
Facts.
Love who you want to love, as long as it's for the right reasons. Like, I don't judge if you want to love outside your race. Like, that's on you. I think that more black women should start dating outside of their race. Statistically, due to racism, mass incarceration, there's just not enough black men who match like the caliber of like education level or even income level as black women. So I think that if we're really trying to like live our best life and not take care of somebody, it hurts to say because I love black men and I hope to marry one day, but there's just not enough for all of us.
I think the biggest thing for me in making one work is understanding that you're never going to understand the other person's experience. So if you're with someone and they understand that they won't know your experience and you're okay with that, then I think they should be able to work.
It's all about matching each other where you are at and having awareness of your identity and being able to grow and develop that awareness together.
As long as you love me because I am me and not because I am a black man, then I'm okay with what we are. Now, I still would prefer, you know, to be with a black woman, but I can't say that I'm just completely closed off to, you know, interracial relationships.
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think you can really pick who you fall in love with or who you end up liking or find attractive. So I'm gonna say that, you know, you do it makes you happy, you do it, it's best for you.
So, I mean, Serena Williams is really happy. I'm trying to think of someone else. Anyway, they're living their best life. She got money.
I don't know. I love queens. I love my queen. So I just feel like if it's like a real, like, full-fledged relationship, it's gonna be a queen for sure.
Alright, that's the end of the video. We asked black people about interracial relationships. Pretty good video. A lot of people had a lot of different views, but ultimately, you know, like I said at the beginning, black women feel a little bit more inclined to date within their race than black men, based solely upon the responses that were given. Of course, at the end, everyone had a pretty much similar response when it came to just them saying that they ultimately do want to date within their race. But you know, sometimes it doesn't end up like that. My personal opinion: date whoever you want to date. Be in a relationship whoever you want to be in a relationship whoever you want to be in a relationship with. That's funny. It sounded like I said in a relationship, but I said in a relationship with. That's crazy. But I think what it is like another thing too, is that for so long, especially when it comes to the whole beauty standards, and black women have been seen as less attractive than their white counterparts. It's this idea that still lingers on, that black men have that ideology as well, that black women are seen as less attractive than their white counterparts, and they decide to go and date women of
Mm-hmm.
other races. And that is a subliminal way of saying that they don't find black women attractive. And that's not the case. I think maybe like back in the day it could have been a thing where, like, it goes back into the whole like thing that was talked about earlier in the video, with the lighter skin versus darker skin being being a topic of conversation, and lighter skin being more attractive than the darker skin thing is more closer to the European standards of beauty, right? But I think that is a narrative that's, if you really think about it, it really wasn't that long ago. Maybe probably like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, that was really a thing, but even longer than that. But if you really think about it in the scope of time, that's not really that much of a long time. It still is in someone's lifespan. But I mean, nowadays, I think the narrative, at least like I said, in my group of people, so I might be completely oblivious to what's actually going on, especially when it comes to the whole dating thing. Like, I'm not really involved in the whole dating lifestyle and what's going on with dating these days and things of that nature. So my point of view may be a little different, or a little skewed, but like I said, I don't really care too much for all that. Just look at the person's personality, person's ideologies. Are you attracted to that person? Things of that nature. Attracted, not having a fetish, because once you have a fetish, and that becomes a racial issue, and then that's a problem, right? So those are my thoughts. You hear their thoughts. It is what it is, right? Anyways, that's the end of this video. I have nothing else to say, so I'm gonna just tell you to do what YouTubers always tell y'all to do: hit that like button, subscribe, comment, turn on notifications, post notifications, whatever. More videos on the way. I'm out.